Empires are created by soldiers and engineers. Soldiers win territory for their commander, and engineers build on that. Soldiers give their lives for the glory of their leader. Engineers devise monuments to ensure that the glory will live on. Engineers also make it possible for the large population of an empire to live in relative ease, clustered in one area, the capital city. The Egyptians, the Greeks, and the Romans all had great cities that were able to exist and function because of the clever work of engineers. Rome was watered by a great system of gravity-fed aqueducts, and under the city of Rome there was an extensive network of pipes that would carry water to and from the houses of the leading citizens. What the Romans did with water was nearly miraculous. The first pipes were hollowed-out logs, intricately joined to one another to cut down on leaks. Eventually they were replaced by clay pipes, more durable and much more efficient. But pounding and freezing could crack the clay pipes, making constant repair a necessity, so the Romans went one better, with lead. They used lead pipes and lead line pipes to great effect, and they did this even though they were totally aware of the toxicity of lead. The lead worked so well for so long in the pipes that the Romans accepted the risk that came from the water contacting all of that highly toxic lead. They calculated that no one would die as a result of the lead pipes. I was reading a book, and the author, writing about the Romans' use of lead pipes in their water supply, came up with the rather terrifying but also decidedly intriguing supposition that it was the lead in the water that affected all of those crazy emperors, those depraved and debauched nutballs who ruled the great empire as if it were some empty, pissed-up outhouse. Crappy, pissed-up outhouse. For a long time I have marveled at the large cast of deplorable zanies who led this magnificent empire, and I have never stopped wondering how so many thoroughly twisted imbeciles and deviant sociopaths could rise to power and flaunt their excesses for everyone to see. And now I have at least a possible explanation. Those sick individuals really might have been sick, poisoned by their drinking water. The symptoms of lead poisoning, especially on the behavioral level, would explain the bizarre outbursts and violent activities of these men and women. This isn't the end of my musings. I think you can see where I'm going here. My country, America, has had more than its share of crazy leaders. We had a run of mediocre types, and then we escalated into full-blown psychos. And the current election certainly seems the culmination of this ghastly trend. And I wonder, as I did with Rome, why we would get these absolutely preposterous people, these frightening candidates, coming before us as potential leaders. They are definitely not my idea of presidential material. I thought it had something to do with the rapidity and breadth of communication, first with radio and television, then especially with the internet and its funny collection of blogs and podcasts and Twitters and tweets. No candidate, so I thought, could ever hope to withstand that constant, intense scrutiny without cracking up. But now I wonder, is it something in the water? Has that fluoride finally kicked in? Or are we driving ourselves crazy with the preservatives and chemicals we put in the food? It stands to reason that someone who devours junk food will wind up with a junk brain. Their thinking will be garbage and they will never know it. They spew fatuous pander and they think they're making exquisite sense. There could even be a conspiracy at work. I've read books that suggested it, written by paranoid wackos who are most likely suffering from the plague they are positing. the Colonel or Ronald McDonald is loading up their products with trace amounts of toxins that build up over time and ultimately produce a population of lunatics, millions of people who are stark raving mad, to whom a babbling idiot would seem like an attractive choice for president. Crazy people with crazy leaders. Oh yeah, it's beginning to add up for me now.